Last night, I received an early advance screening for this film to get you guys an early, spoiler-free movie review of The Batman. And the biggest question I think we all have surrounding this film is, will this live up to the insane amount of hype that this movie's been getting ever since the first trailer dropped? Let's find out in the review. Welcome back, film fans. This is Brad from Let's Be Real Brad, and today on the channel, I want to talk to you guys about the brand new superhero movie called The Batman. The Batman is a reboot of the Batman film franchise, as it is co-written and directed by Matt Reeves. The film stars Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Colin Farrell, Barry Keogh, and Jeffrey Wright. Set in the second year of fighting crime, the film sees Batman uncover corruption in Gotham City while pursuing the Riddler, played by Paul Dano, a serial killer who targets Gotham's elite. I have to say that The Batman is one of the best comic book films I have ever seen, and is going to be one of the best films of 2022. This film does something so special in a unique way that I was really hoping that this film was able to do, and that is to be able to have a superhero movie that doesn't feel like the typical cliched superhero movie. So let's just dive right into the positives first, and I have to start with the performances here because Robert Pattinson is just amazing as the Batman, as I personally think he was the perfect choice to play the Caped Crusader. I think his performance matches the tone of the film as well, and he just does everything that I would want of this year 2 Batman. Zoe Kravitz plays Catwoman in this movie, and I thought she was excellent, as she did a really good job with working with the Batman and having tons of amazing chemistry with Robert Pattinson. Paul Dano as the Riddler, who was very unsettling and creepy. I think he did a great job for this very sinister villain that made this character work so much better than some previous iterations. One of the best aspects about this movie has got to be the cinematography, because it is simply gorgeous. The biggest strength of this movie has got to come down to director Matt Reeves, as he has had a perfect handle on this movie, as all the shots in this movie are simply wonderful. They are so creative and so exciting and so interesting in the way he's able to make this movie just so much more fun and exciting to watch. I found all the shots in this movie to tell the story, especially when there's a lot of scenes of Batman staring at people, and you get all the emotion in that one shot than any dialogue could ever be able to do. And I think Matt Reeves just understood the assignment here, making a tremendous and amazing comic book film. Matt Reeves also created a very consistent tone throughout the film that is very dark and gritty, but this movie just feels very mature in tone, and it feels like you really gotta pay attention to this 2 hours and 55-minute movie because there are so much that is going on. Before going into this movie, I was a bit concerned about the 3-hour runtime, as I did think this movie was going to be overstuffed with so many characters and storylines and still be a great movie. By the time this film finished, I could have easily watched another 3 hours of this movie because it went by so fast, as there's always something interesting going on, whether it's with the story, the characters, or even the presentation itself. Action sequences in this movie are simply amazing, and they are so well shot. You can see every action sequence so clearly, as all the shots in this movie just look so damn good. The screenplay for this film is so strong, as you really feel like co-writer Matt Reeves just did an amazing job of being able to tell this story in the way that he wanted to. Other notable aspects to this movie that I really enjoyed is the sound design, as it just sounds like a very professional, well-made blockbuster movie, and it has everything you would come to expect with Batman's using his grappling hook, or all the punching and kicking, or the flames coming out of the Batmobile. All of it just sounds so amazing. I felt like the score works so perfectly in so many of the more emotional and dramatic sequences without ever feeling like it's taking over the scene itself that we have seen in plenty of other films before. Unfortunately, this movie does have a few tiny negatives, and the one one main one has got to do with some of the storyline elements in this movie, with one in particular that seems to be a major storyline that doesn't feel fleshed out like the other storylines in this movie. And I just feel like they could have replaced this character by literally anybody and it wouldn't have changed the movie. This was an incredibly well-paced 3-hour movie with beautiful cinematography, awesome performances, and stellar action scenes that I cannot wait to go out and watch it at the cinema for a second time. I am giving The Batman a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out my spoiler-free review of The Batman. As I want to know below in the comments section, what is your ranking of all the theatrically released Batman movies? I can't wait to hear about those. Before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I could see you all in the following review.